Hello, this is Spanish 101. My name is Aaron Benjamin Watson y yo voy a ayudarte a hablar en español. So we're going to start right off with the alphabet. Truthfully, when it comes to learning the alphabet, it is not so important to learn all of the letters in the alphabet. Why? Well, because what you want to do is be able to pronounce the actual letters when you are speaking. Because many words in Spanish and in English are the same. You just have to change it, the word, usually, by means of the pronunciation of the letters. For example, general is actually the same in Spanish, but it's general. So keep that in mind when we're going over these letters here. Start off here with the A. A. So A is like, I'm learning Spanish in a weekend, in one weekend. So that's the A, A. B. Like the B that is used in bit. Bienvenido. Buenos días. Then we have C, like C in César, like the César that we hear in the first century. We hear about in the first century in history. Then we have D. We want to keep that in mind because D, when you think about it, it can be used. It can sound like the day and do, and usually that will be used different in two different ways. Let me explain. In the book here that I like to use when I first started off Spanish is Madrigal's Key, Magic Key to Spanish, and it explains here the day. It says the letter D is pronounced D as in do, and when the D is the last letter of a word, and when it appears before vowels, it is pronounced as the soft TH. So the softest TH you can imagine. So you say the English word, the, several times, making the TH very soft, like the. So for example, we're going to give you a word that has D at the end of it, like ciudad. Ciudad. See, at the end, it's going to sound like a da. Ciudad. Ciudad. You're pronouncing a very slight TH. Something you have to keep in mind because we have to learn these techniques if you're learning Spanish. We're not natives. Okay? So let's move on. E. So E is like Eduardo. Eduardo. Very important. Like E in test, pest. F. Fernando, right? F. Fernando. G. This is very important. When you use G before A, O, and U, it's hard as in get. So before A, O, and U is hard as in get. And that's also pronounced, explained here in this book, and also in another book here that has really helped learn the way to become bilingual in Spanish, the Self-Help Guide to Learn Spanish in a Week by Cyan Luz. Very, very good book. And also G before E or I is pronounced like the H in hen, like we spoke about earlier. General in Spanish, how would that be? General. General. G. Like in the H in hen. In that instance, because it's right before, right, the E or the I. So let's move on here. H, H. Now, when you're using the H, it's kind of funny because H is actually not pronounced when it's at the beginning of a word. For example, in English, we would say Hernandez, the Hernandez family. But in Spanish, you would say Hernandez family. You take off that H. But it's when it's between different letters, you will pronounce it like Chavez, right? It has that H in it, right? And that's our next letter, the CH, like Chavez. E, like the E in feet. That's I in English. E. Jota, Jota. Like a Jesus, Jota. Very important. Ka. That's another important letter in Spanish. You won't see it as much in the Spanish language, the K, as much as you would in English. Also, L, like in English, we have L, Luis, Leonardo. The doble L, like lluvia. You notice? Lluvia. Notamos? Lluvia. Very good. Then we're going to head over to M. M. Monstruo. M. Like maestro. Right? So, M. That's in Spanish. Ñ. And when you think of Ñ, usually you will not find Ñ in the front of the word. So I gave an example of baño. See the Ñ? It's like an N with a little swirly line over the top of it. It's like a little wave over the top of it. Ñ. And then we have O, like oportunidad, opportunity, oportunidad, oportunidad. Then we have P, as in productivo, productivo, productive, productivo. Yes. Then we have Q, as in que, Q, right? Also, we think of our next word here, R. R, that's the R, R. And then the double R, R, like in perro, perro. And then we have S, as in sol, S, sol, S, sol, S, sol. We have Torres, T, Torres, U, U. Very important. I'm going to take this manual here again. And when you think about U or U, thinking about cool, pool, U. Yes. And so we also have V. V sounds like a little bit like B, 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 B. Some people pronounce it as a B. And you can even pronounce it like a B, like vamos, vamos. Some people use the V, and others use the ba, vamos. And native speakers will understand both, so you won't have an issue with that. But think of B as a B or a B. If you use it as a B, they'll even say, the native speakers will say, you've learned very good Spanish. W o W. That's in English W, W, W. Yes. Usually you will not see the W, any words in Spanish that start with W. That usually does not happen. You usually only find last names, usually that start with W. X, I'm sure you've heard of dos X, right? So keep that in mind, X, right? And then we're going to move along to Y or Y. 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 Sounds like E Greek. Griega. Griega is Y. That's Y, right? And Griega is actually Greek in Spanish too. Y is Y. Zeta. Z. Very important. Zeta. And so these are some of the most important things to know when you think about the pronunciation of the alphabet. But then there's more. There's more, and that will be covered in the next instructional course, the Spanish one-on-one. And once again, I wanted to mention these two books here are very essential for mastering this pronunciation and making sure that you know how to pronounce the different letters in sentences, because there's many words that you already know in the Spanish language, but if you do not know how to pronounce the letters, you will not be able to continue to advance. And remember, this information can be covered in one weekend, and you'll be able to apply this information in your new journey. Yes, the way to learn Spanish and become bilingual. Spanish 101.